This is one of the cheapest AR-15s you could possibly own. This is one of the many build-it-yourself AR-15 kits you can buy online. Behold, the Ceratac AR15 Carbine Kit. With a couple aftermarket upgrades. I've owned this rifle for 2 years. When I first got the Carbine Build Kit, the bolt head would not headspace with the chamber, so I had to send it back to Ceratac for a new one. On the bright side, they upgraded my bolt to a nitride finish. However, I can't say how well their nitride finish is because I rarely use the bolt anyways. I had a hard time trusting a cheap build kit company that already disappointed me once, and decided to buy a new bolt from Brownells. I've probably fired around 4,000 shots through this thing. However, not all ammo was live. About 1,000 rounds were all blanks with a blank fire adapter to help cycle the rifle. So the barrel and the bolt have not exactly worn together. I had some jamming problems, but that's not Ceratac's fault. But more of the magazine with short-cased blank ammo not hitting the feed ramp at the proper angle, since my blank ammo was shorter than that of a live round. With the right setup, this budget rifle is able to cycle with brass and steel-cased ammo with no problems. The only time it would jam would be when I use steel ammo with absolutely zero lube. But just a few drops of oil here and there and I get no problems. And that's with both the Brownells and Ceratac bolt. Overall, accuracy is what you would expect from a budget AR. It shoots stuff at some distances and that's really it. There's nothing amazing about how accurate this thing can shoot. The trigger from Ceratac was horrendous and unreliable. It light striked 50% of the time with any ammo. We had Remington, Winchester, and Tula to try it with at the time, and it just couldn't fire for some reason. I decided to buy a Sons of Liberty Gunworks trigger, and now it fires 100% of the time. The rifle has a carbine length gas system that has worked well for me. The recoil impulse certainly reminds you that it's a carbine length gas system. However, I also had a problem with the gas tube, but it's mostly my fault this time. For a while, I wrapped a sling around the handguard and tucked it into a vent slot on the handguard. The heat from the gas tube melted the sling over the gas tube, which made the finish on the gas tube melt also. It still worked though, but I decided to replace the gas block and gas tube just in case. I never used the stock or grip Ceratac includes as I live in California and neutered my rifle with a Thorson Gen 3 stock. But that led me to try something. As a part of this California legal stock kit, there's a cover that slides over the buffer tube and screws into place. This buffer tube cover impedes the castle nut's ability to be turned, ultimately stopping the castle nut from ever coming loose. I never staked my castle nut and have actually observed it coming a little loose after some range trips, but never to a point it could be catastrophic because of the buffer tube cover. After 2 years, I have yet to stake my nut. But I plan to change the stock eventually and will definitely stake the castle nut when I do, since the buffer tube cover won't be on my rifle after that. Overall, the rifle has been fun, but there were a lot of problems that had to be solved over time. The first 1,000 rounds was where I had to fix all the problems I just told you about.
Yeah, right there. Right here.
The last couple thousand rounds have been smooth sailing as I finally got everything dialed in. Would I recommend a Ceratac build kit? I would honestly say you should spend the extra time to source quality parts and avoid the problems I had. You probably won't have problems like mine, but why take the chance if you can get something way better at a similar price? All you have to do is put research, time, and effort into your build and it will come out spectacular. I'm in need of attention and praise, so subscribe and help me get 10k subs. Bye! This is one of the... Oh, shut up. I had a hard time trusting a cheap build kit company that already disappointed me once, and decided to buy a new bolt from I've probably fired around 3,000 shots through this thing. However, not all... Actually, that's not true anymore. I've probably fired around 4,000 shots through this thing. However, not all ammo was live. I had some jamming problems, but that's not Ceratac's fault. But more of the magazine combined with short-cased blank ammo not hitting the feed ramp at the proper angle, since my blank ammo was shorter than that of... Oh, dang, I was so close. Overall accuracy is what you would expect from a budget... Oh. It still worked though, but I never staked my castle nut and have actually observed it coming a little loose after some time. Dang it. After 2 years, I have yet to stake my nut, but I plan to change. After 2 years, dang it. But there were a lot of problems that it had. I would honestly say you should spend the extra time to. You probably won't have the problems like mine did. Wait, huh? What am I reading?